In the opulent courts of Troy and Mycenae, beneath the surface of grand feasts and glittering jewels, shadows whispered secrets few dared to speak aloud. Helen, the world-renowned beauty, was no mere prize won by passion or fate. Her capture was a carefully crafted lie, a convenient story spun to mask a far deadlier ambition. Behind closed doors, kings and generals schemed over maps marked with trade routes flowing with gold, spices, and power. The Dardanelles Strait, the gateway to the wealth of the ancient world, was the true prize everyone craved. Helen's abduction was the perfect excuse, a spark to ignite a war that had been brewing in silence for years. In this web of desire and deceit, alliances were fragile and loyalty scarce. Courtiers exchanged secret glances, and whispered promises hid daggers in their folds. As the drums of war echoed in the distance, the stage was set. Not for a battle of love, but for a ruthless contest of power, where passion was just another weapon in a deadly game. As the tension between Troy and the Greek city-states simmered, fragile alliances began to take shape, bound not by trust, but by necessity and whispered promises. Kings met under veiled pretexts, their words carefully chosen, masking ambitions that ran far deeper than open war. In dimly lit chambers and smoky taverns, spies moved like ghosts, gathering secrets to wield as weapons. Among them, a mysterious figure played a dangerous game, serving both sides, yet loyal to none. This double agent weaved through courts, delivering false hopes, sowing discord, and manipulating rivalries with chilling precision. Every handshake carried hidden threats, every treaty was shadowed by suspicion. Loyalty shifted like sand, and the line between friend and foe blurred. As trust crumbled, the seeds of betrayal were planted deep within the hearts of those who claimed to fight for honor, setting the stage for a war where deception might prove deadlier than any sword. Paris, the young Trojan prince, found himself caught in a web far more tangled than any battlefield. Torn between royal duty and a burning secret desire, his heart betrayed him in the most dangerous way, a clandestine affair with a foreign envoy from a rival kingdom. This forbidden romance wasn't just a personal risk, it threatened to unravel fragile alliances and tip the balance of power. Helen, meanwhile, wrestled with her own conflicting emotions. Was she a victim, a traitor, or something in between? Behind her poised exterior, doubts festered. She navigated a court rife with suspicion, her loyalties tested by whispers and shadows. Every glance, every gesture, was a silent battle in a war that extended far beyond the battlefield. In this fragile world of passion and politics, the lines between love and betrayal blurred, and the choices of a prince and a queen could ignite a war more devastating than any siege. The legendary siege of Troy stretched on for a decade, but the war was fought as much in shadows as on the battlefield. Each day brought fresh battles, yet it was the unseen wars, the forged letters, whispered lies, and broken promises, that shaped the fate of the city. Commanders sent false messages to confuse enemies and mislead their own allies. Trusted generals questioned each other's motives, while soldiers struggled to distinguish friend from foe. Paranoia grew like a wildfire, spreading distrust that gnawed away at the city's defenses from within. Behind the walls, families were torn apart by suspicion and fear. Every secret meeting held the threat of betrayal, and every alliance was a fragile thread ready to snap. As the siege dragged on, it became clear that the true enemy was not just the invading Greeks, but the crumbling trust within Troy itself. Amid the unyielding walls of Troy, a silent storm brewed from within. A trusted insider, driven by a bitter grudge or secret ambition, began leaking vital information to the Greek camp. Their betrayal was a dagger cloaked in shadows, slowly unraveling Troy's defenses piece by piece. Whispers spread through the city like poison, turning neighbor against neighbor. Paranoia tightened its grip as friends eyed each other with suspicion, and even the strongest bonds cracked under the weight of doubt. Families found themselves torn apart by accusations, secrets, and fear. As the walls closed in, the true cost of betrayal became painfully clear. The enemy was no longer just outside the gates. It lurked in the hearts of Troy's own people, threatening to tear the city apart from the inside out. After years of fruitless siege, the Greeks unveiled their most cunning ploy yet, the massive wooden horse, an offering seemingly signaling surrender. But beneath its hollow frame hides a secret, an elite team of assassins and conspirators, ready to strike from within. Inside Troy, suspicion simmers as some view the horse as a divine gift, while others whisper warnings of deceit. Tensions rise, and the city is torn between hope and fear. Yet pride and desperation cloud judgment, and the horse is brought through the gates, unwittingly inviting doom. As night falls, the hidden forces emerge, unleashing chaos in the city's heart. The sacred walls, once a symbol of strength, become the stage for treachery. In this final act of betrayal, trust shatters, and the fate of Troy is sealed not just by swords, but by the most devastating deception of all. As flames engulfed the ancient city, the proud walls of Troy crumbled under the weight of betrayal and war. The night sky blazed with fire, casting long shadows over shattered hopes and broken dreams. Amidst the chaos, heroes fought with desperate courage, but even their valor could not stem the tide of destruction. Betrayals long hidden in the shadows came to light, trusted allies revealed as traitors, secret plots unveiled in the smoke. The glory of the warriors faded, exposing them as pawns caught in a merciless game of ambition and greed. Families were torn apart, legacies destroyed, and the city's soul laid bare. As the final embers flickered, it became clear that the true casualty was not just the city, but the fragile ideals of honor and loyalty. Troy's fall was a fiery testament to the cost of deception, a flame that would burn in history long after the dust settled. In the ashes of Troy, survivors scattered like leaves in the wind, each carrying fragments of a shattered world and secrets too dangerous to speak aloud. Ancient scrolls and cryptic inscriptions hidden beneath the ruins whispered of conspiracies buried deep in time, hinting that the war's true story had been lost or deliberately erased. As wandering scholars and adventurers uncovered these relics, the line between myth and reality blurred even further. Tales of gods and heroes mingled with shadowy accounts of spies, betrayals, and hidden agendas. The echoes of a forgotten past stirred unrest, as the survivors grappled with their legacy, haunted by questions no one dared answer. The ruins stood silent witness, guarding truths that could change everything and reminding all that some secrets refused to stay buried forever. Years after the fall of Troy, the shadows of war stretched far beyond the battlefield. Descendants of both the defeated and the victors grappled with the heavy legacy left behind, tales of forbidden loves, bitter rivalries, and power struggles that ignited old wounds anew. In distant lands, secret romances blossomed between heirs sworn to opposite sides, threatening to unite or unravel fragile peace. Political ambitions clashed with family loyalties, as the scars of the past shaped every choice and every alliance. The war's shadow loomed large, reminding all that the battle for power was never truly over. In this tangled web of love and vengeance, the past was both a curse and a compass, guiding the fate of generations yet to come. In the twilight of a shattered world, a hidden heir emerged from the shadows, bearing the weight of a legacy forgotten and a destiny unknown. This figure held the key to uniting fractured kingdoms or plunging them into deeper chaos. As ancient truths were unearthed, the real story behind Helen's abduction, the Trojan Horse, and the decade-long war came to light. The war had been less about honor and heroism, and more about ruthless ambition, greed, and the mastery of deception. Old alliances crumbled as new powers rose, and the greatest victory revealed itself as the grandest lie ever told. In this final twist, love, betrayal, and the thirst for power collided, forever rewriting history and challenging everything the world thought it knew about the Trojan War.